And how about my Facebook video didn't end? There we go. That is so funny. I'm telling you, weren't we just talking about technology? So we'll give people a few moments to come on in. This is great.
Let me share it.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to make sure I share what.
Yeah, I was looking for the link.
As well. Oh, yeah, because that'll be easier too for them. This is great. So for those of our guests that are coming in, we'd like to say good evening to you. You will get a chance to talk with my wonderful guests that are on tonight, and I'm going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves and tell us what their business is about. So for those of you that are watching with us, please feel free to comment. Please feel free to share the stream. Please feel free to ask questions. One thing that I love about these beautiful women and why I believe they were placed on my heart to come on the show is that they are women's. They are a woman's woman. They support women, strong women, but that they still know how to uplift other women along the way and carry them with them and support another woman that is in business. And so we just want to talk about the support that women can give to one another. So I see LaQuandra, Queen Lion, Sophia Holt. Thank you all so much.
Hey, ladies.
You all as well. We are so happy that you are here to join us, and we thank you so much for sharing in this time with us. So we're going to get right to business because I respect your time and I respect our viewers' time. So I'm going to start the way it looks at my screen. We're going to start with Sheena, go to Lauren, and then Camille. Tell us who you are. Tell us about your business. What is it that you do?
Okay. So good evening, everyone. My name is Rashina Patrick, the owner of Revitalized Body Shop. I specialize in yoni semen, in addition to creating my own natural feminine products, and I also do hygiene classes. So I take more of a holistic approach. I am not looking to heal anyone. I just create this space for women to heal themselves and to empower other women.
Good evening. My name is Lauren Todd, and I am the owner of Comprehensive Wellness and Peak. Comprehensive Wellness is mental health, therapy. That is that lane. Peak is the sister of Comprehensive Wellness, and it is wearable motivation. So I have different items that will come out that will be able to assist you on your wellness journey and encourage you along the way.
Hello, everyone joining us tonight or whenever you decide to join us. It may be tomorrow. My name is Camille Monk, and I am the owner of Children and Youth of Esteem, which is a social development company for children and youth. So what we do is we partner with schools and organizations, and we provide etiquette training, manners training. We provide life skills to children to give them that step up so that when they get out into the world, they are ready to succeed. And I am also the new owner and founder of Camille Monk Ministries, which is a ministry for women. It's what I like to call it, it's a ministry that disciples women to their purpose in God. And my slogan for Camille Monk Ministries is basically, what happens when tomorrow is not promised? You get after it today. So that's me in a nutshell. I am Camille Monk.
The one and only.
Don't start now.
The one and only. Listening to the three of you talk about your businesses is so interesting to me how they intertwine and why it's so important for all of us to find out, number one, what our lane is and stay there. I think part of the problem is some people don't know what their lane is in life, and so they hopping around trying to take a piece of this person and a piece of that person. But listening to the three of you, Sheena, for you to say you want to take a holistic approach to women, really, it's like you're not a healer, but you're trying to help women heal themselves. Yeah. Ultimately, by the decisions that they make with what products we are putting in the inside of us. Okay. And then Lauren is talking about wellness, that mental wellness, just that overall wellness, which we all so desperately need so that we can function in our various roles. And then Camille is targeting the children because we really got to start there. It's so unfortunate. I believe we can curb a lot of this if we can get to our babies,
Yeah.
you know. And so teaching them the life skills that they need so they know how to survive in society. So I picked the three of you because, again, like I said in the onset, is that I've watched the three of you support one another's business. And oftentimes what I have seen is that women in business somehow make it a competition. And I just haven't seen any of that amongst you all. Now, have any of you experienced that? The whole competitiveness as far as the position that you're in, because you all are in three different groups, ultimately.
It comes with the territory, Toya. It's inevitable. The
Now, how do you
competition.
rise above that, though? You know what I mean? I know we were talking before. Now, sometimes people make you want to kind of go somewhere else, but how do you rise above that, knowing that there is that level of competitiveness that is there? Sometimes some people don't want to support you because they feel like, well, if I tell her this information, she gonna get her practice off faster than me, or she gonna get more clients, or now all of a sudden people think Camille gonna take all of the kids in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, just because she started Children and Youth of Esteem. Really, how do you stay above that nonsense that is there?
For me, when that has happened, because I have experienced reaching out to somebody else who is in my lane, asking them, how do you start a practice? How, like, what do I need to know? What do I need to do? And not getting, calls returned or just completely disregarded as if I was going to take their client. And
Mm,
what helped me stay grounded with that is knowing who I am and
mm,
what my purpose, my goals, my view, my lane, knowing what that is and understanding
yeah.
that that's a you problem if you don't want to share information. I
Yeah.
didn't ask for your formula. Just
Hmm.
give me some things, I'll make my own because we're
Yeah.
different people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so just understanding that's their issue
Hmm.
and not stopping. Just, okay, that's fine. That was a no. Keep walking, keep moving, find it somewhere else.
Hmm. Certainly.
I think for me, for me, it became shocking because the industry I'm in, it's really the etiquette and manners and life skills industry for children. It's
Hmm.
very specific. It's a very small niche in the state. But the what I found really shocking was when I went to, because most of the people that were doing it were older than me. So when I went and contacted women who were, especially African American women, women who were doing it in the city decades before I started, and I would come to them, how did you, what should I do? I would get no response. And what's so funny is I would always know, because the Holy Spirit don't play no games, okay? I would know as soon as I walked in the space, the Holy Spirit would say, they're intimidated. They're not going to share the information. I knew right away.
Hmm.
And even to know that right away, but to still be kind and ask, and I'm always about giving folks their kudos. You've been doing this for years. I really just want to glean from the knowledge that you have. But some
Hmm.
people, by way of their own insecurities, can't make room for anybody else.
Mm.
Yeah. For
Wow.
me, I didn't have many women to reach out to. So I had to do a lot of the research on my own. And I knew
Hmm.
at that time there would be a lot of women to come after me. But
Hmm.
there was never collaboration. It would always be competition. And I knew that I set the bar high anyway. So I'm very confident that no one can do it like me. So that
Hmm.
keeps me in my own lane and
Hmm.
continue, as they say, to level up. So there's never a competition because I'm focused on Sheena and everyone isn't my customer.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
have a certain target audience that I want to attract, and
Yeah.
that's for me. So
Yeah.
the rest of the crowd, they need
Hmm.
someplace else to go to. So there's no competition.
Right.
You know what's so funny? I remember when Sheena was getting started. No, she had started, and she came to me. She was like, "Yeah, I'm going to start. I have a lot of people interested in. They want to start, the steaming thing." And she came to me. She was like, "I think I'm going to host some training, and I may help somebody set up their stuff." And I just looked at her like, oh, "Okay." Because here's the thing, I know how people are. Some
Mhm.
people aren't even tapping into what God told them to do. They
Right.
see it working for you, so they want to do what you doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in the end, it don't work out anyway.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It's trying to. It's like me trying to walk around in Lauren's shoes. It's going to be very awkward. I wear an 8 if I'm not mistaken. I think you're an 11.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
It's just not. I'm gonna look awkward, and I'm gonna be looking like a gump, as my grandmother would
And
say,
you're going to stumble the whole way
Yeah.
the
through.
whole way because it's not your size. It's not fit for me. And
Yeah.
so that's my thing is we can work together. Again, all three of your businesses are different, but you can still work together. And even if somebody was interested in etiquette, like I said, there are thousands of children in the greater Milwaukee area. Camille can't service them all. So we do need other women or men who feel that that's where they are called to do. And with us being believers, for those of you, some people may be like, what are they talking about called? Whatever it is you believe that God has placed you on this earth to do, because we all have a job. We all have a work to do. And the problem lies in with people aren't sure what their position is. And again, I'm gonna go to that's where Lauren kick in to help unravel some of the stuff that's going on in your head. Because again, you've been taking a piece of this person, a piece of that person, and listening to this person and that person, taking all of this stuff in and trying to create a person,
Mm-hmm.
this ideal person in your head, when it's just like you are who you are. Embrace that and roll with what he has given you. And like I said, the reason I want to do the show tonight is because I want to encourage other women to support one another. Everybody was sharing and resharing the picture of Michelle and
Kamala.
Kamala. Yeah, everybody doing that. But it's like, are you really doing that for another woman? When you see someone that is trying to do well in business, are you trying to help promote her? And I know for me, I'm in this position to promote
Yeah.
what women are doing. So I know my lane. I know where I stand.
And can I say this before business? Are you just doing that in everyday life? Because
Yeah.
I think that's where the issue starts. And you hear the cliche like comparison is the thief of joy. And I say that to my clients a lot
Mm,
because as soon as you start to compare yourself to someone else,
mhm.
you're automatically going to think about how you don't measure up or what's different,
Yep.
or you're attracted to something about them and you don't have it, so then you resent it, right? So it's like before you even get to a business level, I cannot support your business if when I see a woman down the street or coming into the store or just in passing, I don't support her.
Mhm.
So at the basic level, are you supporting other women? Do you
Right.
I
know
like that you
how?
said that because the thing is, some people go, "Well, I support my sister." It's not a secret. These beautiful ladies are related to me. Camille's my sister. Lauren and Sheena are my cousins. But I don't just support them because we are related. And we ain't even got to talk about that because people will be related to you and still won't support you.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
that's another conversation. But I support when I see somebody that is going after their passion. There's a difference because I can tell that you all are not driven by money because people got to understand the money's not going to be there up front.
Ooh, no.
Hello, somebody.
That's
Yeah.
going to take time. You know what I mean? Like when it's
That's
something
the
that's in you
conversation
to do,
alone.
that's going to take time. But let me ask you all this, because again, you all do more than Peak and Comprehensive Wellness and Revitalized Body Shop and Children and Youth of Esteem and Camille Monk Ministries. You're still supporting other people. Like I said, I've seen all three of you do that. How are y'all able to balance all of that? And you all are mothers and wives, and the list goes on and on and on and on. How do y'all balance that? Because I still see you all support other women in business.
Well, first of all, I balance it by cussing a little bit, okay? I'm gonna say that right now. Is my mic on? Hello, somebody, okay? That's number one. Let me stop playing. But no, I balance it because it's a part of who I am. Like
Yeah.
it really, it doesn't take much for me to make sure that I'm showing up at 100% for those that I need to in that moment. Now I
Mhm.
have learned by trial and error when God has told me not to step in. I've learned now. God will say immediately, "That ain't for you. You need to pull back. I don't
Okay.
need you messing in that business right there. I got
Mhm.
but the
Mhm.
business that he's called me to, my family, those women that he calls me to, hey, pull her up, post something with her, help her with her audience. When he tells me to do it, I do it. And as soon as he tells me, now take your hand off, it's my turn, I got to take my hand off. Because if I don't take my hand off, then the business that is mine, my family, my ministry, that will start to go lacking. And then God gonna have a problem with me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be testing again.
Yeah, like for
Yeah.
real.
Seriously.
And
Mhm.
with that, it's understanding where your place is in all of those different pots. Triage,
Mhm.
what's most important? What has to be taken care of at this moment? Sometimes when my child needs me, I'm not worried about designing shirts. I'm not taking referrals because that's going to be another space that's taken away from him. And you have to switch things around as necessary, but understanding that you're constantly working on it regardless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
I agree with what the ladies already shared. What keeps me motivated to support the other women is just seeing other women go hard for themselves and knowing that we all have a starting point, and to see people continue to push despite being a wife, managing kids, being a single
Mhm.
mom, it makes me want more for them. So to hit the like button, to hit the share button, or to post a product, I don't mind taking a few minutes out of the day because it costs me nothing to do that. And
Yep.
Wow.
why not support that woman that's doing her? Now I might not like everything that I share, but I love the fact that that woman is trying. She's giving
Yeah,
Mhm.
her all. So
Mhm.
if I could be the push behind her, let's go,
Mhm.
sis.
yeah,
I'm gonna
Mhm.
push you until like Camille said, until God say, okay, that's enough. You've done your part. Step back because everyone is in our assignment.
yes, ma'am.
And that's important to know. And even for the people that are receiving the support, you got to understand seasons and time.
Yeah.
We talk about it. It's my time. We always just want the time for everything to rain on us, but sometimes the rain is going to stop, and you may get droplets here and there. So right now, the month of January, God may be sending Camille, Sheena, and Lauren my way to call me every week. But come February, it's now dropped down to just two of them. Come March, now it's one of them. Come April, none of you all are calling. But it's not to say that God still won't have somebody else along the way to help you along the way. I think sometimes people they box themselves in looking for the support to come from the same group of people, and that will cause us to become stagnant. We have to open ourselves up to hear and glean from others that we don't know. And that's nothing against you all. Like, I value and appreciate all three of you, not because we're related, but just because I know y'all character. That's another thing people got to understand with business. Your character goes a long way, because that's really a lot about what you do when everybody not watching.
Right.
When everybody's not watching, that's your true character.
They're all
That's what I
watching.
put. Or what you say, honey? What you say, Sheena?
They're all watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're all watching.
Yes. But understanding that balance, sometimes you have to understand when like Camille said, to step back. Because when you don't, then that's when we start becoming depleted and we can't think clear for ourselves. Because we got to be
Yeah.
good for us before we can give to others. And what you all are giving is a service. You're giving them yourself. So if somebody had a question for you all, comes from Stephanie. And Stephanie, I appreciate you asking a question. Anyone else that has a question for the ladies, feel free. She said, what was one of your biggest challenges stepping out to launch your own business?
I can actually answer.
House.
My biggest challenge was, and Camille will probably remember this, getting out of my own way, because I was set to take a training class someplace and it didn't work out. And when I say I was going crazy trying to figure out how do I do it, because like I said in the beginning, I didn't have women to reach out to. So it was a matter of just me and God, me sitting in his presence and him laying everything out for me. And I needed to get out of Sheena's way so that I could hear him to get my guidance, to know what route to take, who to reach out to, when to do this and when to do that. And once I did that, it was up from there.
For me, my biggest, and it was the biggest challenge, correct, was stepping out was I came from a corporate job before, and I made a certain amount of money, and it was a nice amount of money. And here's a fun fact for anyone who's watching. If therapy is your lane, you're definitely not doing therapy for money. That's just, you're not doing it. That's not how that's designed. You have to go into different order for that to come. So to go from making a certain money, knowing how much was coming in, and then changing to being reliant on people, and for people to come to you and to stay with you once they came in order to get some type of financial rhythm, that was one of the biggest challenges for me to start on my own. And outside of that, having to be a public face. I am my business. I don't have anybody else that I can like refer to. If I'm a jerk, it's going to be that therapist is a jerk. It's not going to be a corporate McDonald's. Don't go to the one on Capitol. It's going to be don't go to her. So it was considering all of those parts that were challenging for me.
Okay.
I think the biggest challenge for me in getting started, it wasn't the getting started, it was when I got into it, because my etiquette is mostly contract based through MPS schools. The challenge was I would meet with principals and they would want the product or they would want the service, but they would want it for free. And they would want it for free because they're so used to getting free things. And doors would be closed. I mean, door after door would be closed. Well, can you do it for free? I remember sitting with, this was a few years ago, and I've been doing etiquette for over 10 years. I remember sitting with some of the heads of MPS, and one of the ladies said to me, she said, this is a great product. Now, when I present with my prospectus, I present with my business plan, I present with the full layout of what I'm doing for the children. I do not come to play when it's time for business. She said to me, this is wonderful. This is so needed. She said, well, would you be willing to do this for pro bono? I said, ma'am, do you show up for work pro bono? She said, no. I said, well, neither do I. I said, I am not a novice. I am a vet in what I am doing. And either you can pay for it or you're not. Have a good day.
Yes, you have to know, that goes back to, you have to know your worth.
Yeah.
You have to. Because otherwise people will lowball you and try and get deals all day long. Well, can you just give it to me for $5, but you'll pay this person $75?
But the problem with this is in the Black community,
I know you were going to go there.
We always want our people to give us something for free. I have yet to see people walk in Starbucks and ask for a salted caramel mocha venti for 50 cents. You're not going to do it at Starbucks because you know what they're going to do? They're going to first say no and then call security because you're nuts.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the mom and pop shop that's selling burgers, my fries is cold. Can I get them for free? Laura, stop laughing at me.
But it's true. It's very true. Yeah. And on top of that, when you said know your worth, knowing your value is vital for business,
Mhm.
because do not expect others to buy into you. If you don't buy into you,
Yeah.
no one else will either. I know what my value is as a therapist. Therapy is not listening to people talk and that's it.
Ooh.
If that was the case, no one would need licensure and everybody would proclaim to be therapists because we hear our friends' problems all the time.
Um,
So when I have people who say your rate for therapy is too much, and they'll say it to your face, like people will almost try to barter with you for therapy, which blows my
Yeah.
mind because I who do not look like me, who do not have these problems, and rates may be higher than mine. So, absolutely not. I will not sit here and unpack your trauma for free 99. It ain't happening. And then come up with a plan on how you can overcome your stuff. Not going to
yeah,
happen. You have to
yeah.
know your value.
And the thing is, too, some of us, the truth of the matter is, I don't believe we will know everything, and it's so hilarious because Kanita is on tonight watching, and she and I were talking about this earlier. Sheena, to go back to what you said about getting out of your own way,
Mhm.
um, and like Lauren was, you're talking about a financial rhythm, and Camille's hit with people wanting services for free. Some of us may not even know how to charge, so I'm going to call Nicole out, who's on the show. She's great. She's naturally great at knowing what numbers to ask for. So Nicole, we need you for business consulting. You can put your information in the comments. So for
Yep.
those that are watching and may watch the stream later on,
Yeah.
we need people like that because again, this goes back to the support.
Yeah.
If I'm great in a certain area, it could be I may have a cool idea of ways in which you guys could promote your businesses. And this is when it's one of those situations where I'm not looking for y'all to give me $10. Okay, now Sheena, I just gave you this wonderful idea. So can you just run me $10 real quick, for helping you with uh your website? Like I told you to change the color from purple to fuchsia. And now you notice you had 100 more visitors because I said that. Now, sometimes we got to use wisdom in that. Don't always look for a handout because this is something that Dr. Miles Monroe said, and I never forgot this. A lot of us, you have to be willing really to give of yourself for free at first. And I believe for those of us, because we've been in ministry and just doing a lot of other things for free for a long time. And for some of us, it's hard to break that because now it's like, now I need to charge because I'm
Yeah.
at a place now where I've developed my gift. Again, I know what my gifting is. So I've developed it. So now it's at that place where I need to be getting paid money. And
That's
I
it.
need to know that. Okay, go on, Lauren. I see you
I'm
want to say.
sorry. And that goes back to knowing your value and standing on it because our grandmother and your and aunt had to tell me either you're going to do mission work or you're going to do business.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are not going to, they're not going to coincide. And this was, she told me this years ago, but it's so true. And it completely opened up my eyes. When I am in the lane to do pro bono work, because I do that now, I have clients that I see who pay me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I'm led to do it, that's for that time.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's time to say, this is my rate and here's my invoice, I have to stand on that with the exact same fervor that I do when I'm just doing something out of service. And you can
Yeah.
do both, but you
Mm-hmm.
have to know when to do both. And like you said, Camille, earlier, and when to pull out.
Okay.
But you know what's difficult for me now with CYE, my price is my price. It is what it is. But now that God has told me to move over into ministry, people think ministry should be free. They just do.
They do. They
So
do.
you gonna charge me to tell me what God has told you, and you gonna charge me to do a life's work mission core mentoring program, and yeah, I am going to charge you. You know why? Because God told me to.
Yeah.
Now
Mhm.
either you're gonna tap this PayPal thing here, or you're going to figure it out on your own. Either way, and like you said, I have developed
Mhm.
Not only have I developed my craft, I've developed my calling. I'm not new walking people through life issues. I'm not
Mhm.
new with trying to get people dialed into what God is leading and calling them to do. I'm not new to that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
Let me ask you all this. Okay, so we have like sort of a not quite a sidebar, but it would be tiring. So he asks, so why do we go to other countries and try to talk down the price of the goods or services they're offering? Just asking.
I
Going
don't
back.
do that.
I don't do that, but I'm going to assume
To-
that that may be a Western superior kind of thing happening. If that's the case, and feeling that your money is better than where you are, which
I'm not
is
into
fine if you're
haggling.
traveling to a country
Yeah.
and you feel that way. But maybe, I don't know, I don't do that.
I'm
I
not
don't
into haggling. The
negotiate people
price is the
prices.
price.
Yeah, that's it. Because you can't come into my space and tell me try to negotiate. No, it's not that.
I think too, people will pay. People are driven by names. People want to jump on the next big thing. You know what I'm saying? And so when you talk about, like, I know, and I'm talking about Kanita right now because she and I had this conversation today, and I'd encouraged her to log in because I really wanted some women to come on, and this can apply to men as well. So I thank the gentlemen that have joined us. All of us go through something starting a business. The thing is, we have to start somewhere. So when I was saying that people get hung up on a big name, you know, if I go into Macy's, whatever is on that tag, if it say $59,
You paying it.
I'm paying $59. But let's say like Kanita, she wants to start, she is going to be designing funked out hats
Nice.
because it's just Kanita. Now your hat $59. Can you do it for 39? Can you do it for 25? People will be driven. They want, it's like if the name is big, it's out there, then it's like it's an acceptance. And that again, I'm gonna go back to you have to stand your ground. I think Cody had put up some nuggets up here for us all to look at. 3 stages of pricing. 1, full price. 2, sliding scale. 3, gifting for a limited time only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it's something that Stephanie said. People need to understand that regardless if it's your ministry or not, it's still a business at the end of
Yes.
the day.
It's
You
a
are
business and your time. It's your
you guys
time.
have to pay
Time
for
is something you
lights.
can't get
If
back.
you don't pay your electricity bill, you won't have that beautiful
Yeah.
lighting, Camille, when you be doing your podcast. Lauren, if you don't pay your electricity, you can't plug up a Cricut or whatever to make your shirts. Sheena, if you don't pay We Energies, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Wisconsin has anybody else.
It's a
They still holding
monopoly.
it down. It's just them. If you don't pay your electricity bill, those ladies won't be steaming
Right.
at all. So it's a business which requires us to have money in order to, in order to support one another. I'm so grateful for tonight. I want to just stop and pause here because I usually do that at some point in the middle of the show and encourage everyone. Let me go ahead and change that banner. If you have not done so already, please follow Relationship Entertainment Television. One of our goals is to get the numbers and all of the ratings up or Relationship Entertainment Television. So I have it at the bottom. So for those of you, this might be your first time tuning into the Women's Champ Show. I want to tell you that I am so appreciative of you all coming on and listening to these women. Because again, right now, they know that I'm starting out and they are supporting me. I don't have any money to give them. Okay. So my way of supporting other women is letting them come on and giving them that exposure because some women don't know much about steaming. And Sheena, I'll let you talk go in a little bit about the benefits of that. And Camille, talk a little bit about some of you guys can talk about some of your goals from your businesses as well. Because Camille, you just did the retreat. Lauren, keep living. That message is so powerful. And I want everyone that is watching to understand the message behind your business because it's a lot that brought you all to that. So again, those of you that are watching, please like, subscribe, share Relationship Entertainment Television. The owners are on tonight. We are trying to build this platform where we are able to receive information. It's going to be informative, educational, and entertaining at the same time. So whomever wants to start Out of you three ladies, go right ahead and do so.
What was
Somebody
what was
will
the question again?
will will there be one that
You
will?
asked us what was the question?
What did I just say?
Yeah,
Will
that's
there
why
be one?
I missed that. That's why I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, that is so hilarious. I wanted you guys to talk about, because I know I said a little bit more because I'm trying to promote relationship entertainment television at the same time. And Ty's laughing. I can't deal with him right now. Matter of fact, everybody, this is the owner, this gentleman right here, who I just put, who I just put on there. I wanted you guys to go a little deeper about your business. Like, what are some of the benefits of the steaming, Sheena? Because some people are coming in midstream. Lauren, talk about peak, the therapies. Camille can talk about, and you guys can talk about some glows, some great things that's happened since you've started your business. So, and Camille can talk about like the retreat, the feedback. Let people know it's not all bad. We can still support one another. But what are some of the glows that you all have had with your businesses, and what is it that you're actually offering?
Okay. So steaming actually helps to cleanse and detox a woman's womb. Some of the benefits is very relaxing, therapeutic, and it I'm able to create a space for women to come in and pretty much unpack. I'm not a therapist. I'm not in Lauren's lane when I say unpack, but I create a space for women to take off all the hats, have a little time to unwind and actually, engage in some self-care while still taking care of their sacred place. Because
Mhm.
the benefits are it helps to cleanse, to detox the womb. I've had women who were suffering with infertility. I've had several cases where women actually were able to conceive afterwards. Women who were suffering with cysts, they were actually able to drain while steaming. So again, it just for the most part it helps to cleanse and detox the wound, the steaming portion of it.
I do want to tell people that are watching, I have used your products. Hilariously enough, I was telling Sheena or I think it was earlier today or yesterday, that I sent some products to my friend by accident. Okay, it was a total accident, and I told her, keep them, please. Use the product and tell others about it. Word of mouth still goes a long way. When
Mm-hmm.
and even some of us, we can purchase products. I indirectly purchased the products for my friend and sent them to her. But I told her that the oil, the sweet spot oil. Can you just talk a little bit about the sweet spot oil and the benefits of the sweet spot oil?
Yeah, so the sweet spot oil is used for preventative and daily maintenance. So it's used around like the bikini lining. It could also be used as a lubrication. Some women have used it for eczema on the skin and also even a hair oil.
Mm,
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm telling y'all, it's worth it.
it
Yeah,
is.
it's really good
Mhm.
moisturizing for the sweet spot area.
Yes.
For me, if the Keep Living shirt, the phrase itself is something that our grandfather would say often, and it was usually to tell you to just wait it out and kind of see how life was going to teach you something and kind of gather you together because you thought you knew what you were talking about, but you had to keep living to see that you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it originated from.
Yeah.
And I have added other parts through my practice to me. For some people, literally are at a stage in their life where they have to be told to physically keep living because
Mm.
they
Yeah.
want to check
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So now it's used as encouragement. Also, the things will change. You might feel like you don't know what's happening right now. Keep living, see it through. All of those. That's where that comes from when you see the phrase. I also have Thera beads, which are
Mm-hmm.
bracelets that can have lava beads on it, and you can put your essential oil of choice um, on it and carry your therapy with you
Mm-hmm.
wherever you go. Some of my therapy have and it may just be a daily reminder. Choose you. Start today of that nature. Design, again, Peak is about wearable motivation. So sometimes when we have a lot going on, we need to look at something to get us together really quick. So that's the purpose behind that. And you said some glows from business.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Personally, it has taken me so much out of my comfort zone. So it's a personal glow,
Yeah.
because I enjoy the background. I thrive there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it
Mm-hmm.
has forced me to interact with people on different levels. I have just this week, I've had two different people reach out and they want me to come, like, oh, our college is hosting this. Can you come talk? And I'm going, okay. Can I write what I want to say and just email it in and you guys do that? So I can still be in the background, but it's forcing me out. Um,
Yes.
so
Yes.
that is a glow. It's
Mm-hmm.
telling
Good.
me that I can do it. When you referenced Macy's earlier,
Mm-hmm.
Macy's, and I don't know the true story, so if I'm wrong, fine. But Macy's and people, big corporations, a lot of them are given money.
Yeah.
So their
Mm-hmm.
things could have started over, and this is dad's money. And
Mm-hmm.
so it has shown that I can start something, do it well, grow it, see
Mm-hmm.
the fruit of it, and that in itself is just like an additional baby, and watching that grow, and that's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful in its own right.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's legacy,
Yeah.
because what we are
Yeah,
going to do,
it has
what
to start.
we are going to do, the trajectory of the generations behind us is going to change. It is changing
Yeah.
because of what we're
Yeah.
choosing to do now.
Yeah.
So I'm just grateful for that, Camille.
So I'll talk about Camille Monk Ministries. I Camille Monk Ministries is really a ministry that God had. He really had to kind of just over time just pushed me into doing it because I believe that, and for me, women are like the fabric of my life. And I don't know if it's because I was raised around mostly women, and the women that I was raised around, we were raised to be really close. We're really tight knit. My cousins are my sisters. My aunts are now like my friends. And, I don't know if it was that or if it was just an inward thing coming from a place of when I was a little girl having low self esteem and being delivered out of that, and now
Mm.
wanting the same thing for other women. I don't know
Yeah.
which one it is, but both of them push me in such a way where I fight for women to be well. I
Yeah.
fight for women to win. And it literally breaks my heart to see a woman walking down a path knowing that the path that she's walking is not what God has called her to do. She
Mm-hmm.
keeps stumbling over the same things. And
Mm-hmm.
to watch someone do that, especially if you have any type of heart or care in you, it
Mm-hmm.
breaks your heart because you want to scream to the person, you don't have to live like that. You
Right.
deserve more. You deserve God's best. You deserve what God has for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, God, it's been years. God has been like pushing me, pushing me. So, last year in the middle of a pandemic, he said it's time to go, let's go. And it was from that I birthed Camille Monk Ministries. And we held our first retreat, and then the last 30 days of December we did a 30-day morning devotional. And
Yeah.
I'm not a morning person.
Mm-hmm.
It took me, somebody asked, well, how long did it take you to write the devotional? I told her, I said, I have been procrastinating for months. And even the young
Mm-hmm.
lady who did the printing, she kept saying, Camille, I need your content. I need your content. And
Mm-hmm.
every night, God was just downloading. And I would just sit there like, I don't want to do this because I know if I do this, you are going to require so much more from me. So Sunday
Mm-hmm.
was a Sunday. She said, Camille, I have to turn your content in and I need it by Thursday. Sunday, I hadn't written anything.
Mm-hmm.
Monday, I wrote it all, and by Thursday, I gave her the entire content for the book. And you know, from that 30 days, every morning we had over 80 women on the Zoom call. Most of the
Mhm.
women I did not know.
Mhm.
And let me tell you something about how sisters, how impactful it is when your sister pushes you. Now, I sold some books at the retreat, but I didn't sell the books. Let me tell you something. If you want somebody to sell something, the
Listen,
lady at the top with the bun on her
listen.
hair, let me tell
Let me
when
tell
I
you,
tell you.
She was a gangster.
Oh, I
Okay.
know. You should hear everybody. Like I would ask people, "Well, how did you get the book?" Oh, the lady at the table at your retreat. She wasn't playing no games. She made anybody who walked past the table, she made them buy a book. But not only did she do that, on her own personal Facebook page, she promoted it, and the people that
Mhm.
followed
Mhm.
her, they ended up buying the book and joining in on the thing. And so I
Mhm.
say all that to say you don't know what your help will do for someone else. Now, she helped push my 30 days, but
Yeah.
in the 30 days, there were hundreds of women who were impacted because I had
Mhm.
people who were sharing. People would say, I need the Zoom recording. I would give them the recording and then they would share with their friends. And I would have people who weren't even on the Zoom inboxing me on Facebook. I saw your Zoom recording. I'm not a
Mhm.
part of the 30-day devotional, but I really needed to hear that. I really and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
And I've gotten
Mhm.
so many emails from women who
Mhm.
they would say if day four pushed me to not want to, fight, not want to give in to depression, or day
Mhm.
three pushed me
Mhm.
to walk my purpose. Like it's
That's
things
beautiful.
like that that lets you
Mhm.
know, okay, God, let's do this.
Yeah.
This is what
And
I'm supposed to do.
it's important for me to at this stage in the game, it's
Mhm.
important for me to watch my surroundings. And what I mean by that is people who I allow in my sphere, because people are very, very, very interesting. And once they see you progressing or growing, they want to gravitate on it. Like they
Mhm.
want to latch on to it,
Mhm.
and they want
Mhm.
to get a part of whatever it is they think you got going on,
Mhm.
not understanding what it cost for me to wake up every morning to hear from God, not
Mhm.
only to hear from God, but to obey what He
Right.
is telling. That cost a lot.
Mhm. Mhm. There is a
It is
price to pay.
it's a great price to be obedient.
Mhm.
It's a great price you are when you're fighting things in your own house, but you got to help somebody walk through what's going on in their house. You
See, people don't
understand?
know. They don't but see. People see. They see three, and I'm removing myself because you all are the guests. They see three beautiful faces.
Yeah.
And again, I don't just say this because I'm related to you all, but y'all know how to show up. Okay, that's number one. I mean, y'all been trained well, and I know who y'all grandmothers are. They don't play any games about when they step out. When they step
I
out,
know
they step
somebody.
out. And them ladies are in their 80s and they still stepping out. But people don't know what it takes for you to show up. What it takes for you. People don't see. They didn't see Lauren burning herself because she's using heat to make
Mm-hmm.
that lovely shirt that she's wearing. We
Mm-hmm.
don't know. We don't know what Sheena, didn't you put pictures up of you were you part of the remodeling or something? You be doing some of everything. Sheena will
Yeah.
do every like people don't see all of the hard work. You see this beautiful facility, but how late were y'all staying up?
How about before an event the night before? We're there till 4 o'clock in the morning. They never see the behind the scenes. You just
Yeah.
see the sacrifice. Camille was getting ready to go there. There's so
Yeah.
much that goes on. The sacrifice, the
Mhm.
time, the dedication, the when you're not getting a check, but things still have to be paid. People have to,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you have people
Mhm.
depending on you, and you have to
Mhm.
still show up
Yes.
regardless of what's going on. You don't get
And,
time to sit and sulk in your misery.
and for some of us married folk, when ain't no money coming through the door, but your husband see money keep going out the door for your business, you
That.
still got to stand on it. You
Wow.
still have to say, no, we got to see this through. This is what God is
Yeah.
Mhm.
telling me. It's
Mhm.
not, it ain't all glitz and glam. It's not what
Mhm.
you think it is.
Mhm.
And can I
Mhm.
say this? I
Oh,
think the problem is we're designed not to see it. And I know this is my therapist lens. However, that's what society tells us to do. As long as you beat and you slaying them and you doing the challenges and your hair is laid, you don't have to think about the inner working that you need to do. It's the same concept. As
mhm.
long as a product is being given,
Mhm.
as long as I can come to you and you're helping me out of my mess, I
Yeah.
don't need to consider anything else
Yeah.
about the hard work. I
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
expect it to show up and
Yeah.
to be there when I need it to be. And it's an ongoing problem and it's on so many different levels that we experience that. We want the surface. As long as the
Mhm.
surface is cute,
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's all
Mhm.
that matters. We
Yeah.
don't, we don't need to go beyond that. And that's where the problem lies.
But you know what? On that note, that reminds me of something we talked about in the 30-day morning devotional. And I told you guys I had had a really rough night. I had a rough day before we were to get up that morning. And I was talking to God, and I was like, "Yo, it's too much. I got too much going on. I do
Mhm.
not want to show up for these women on tomorrow morning. I don't have it." And He said to me, "I didn't ask you to have it. I got it."
Yeah.
He
Mhm.
said, "You take care of my business
Mhm.
and I will take care of you." And
Yep.
that is
Mhm.
how it has been. I promise you, if we do what God is calling us to do, He's going to always take care of you. He has no
Yeah.
choice because His word has said that He will.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you all something. What I find so amazing is that um, one of the reasons why I wanted to do women's camp is that I care about women, their emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being. All three of those. And as you all were talking, I was like, wow, all three of you represent that. Camille,
Mm-hmm.
the spiritual, Lawrence, the emotional, and Sheena is the physical. That is so important for us to have all of that balance because although Camille, you give out so much, you still have to find a way to put get some deposits
Yeah.
back in you. This is why I am big on creating a support system. I'm also of this thought, people be like, I keep my circle small. And I'm sorry I have to do that because I don't know why people feel like they got to do all of this when they say, I keep my circle small. Like, it's a cool
You gotta
thing
say
to be,
emphasis.
like, but it's like, it's a cool thing to be standoffish. And
Yeah.
let me tell you something, you and your small circle, as those people start going off, because as in the words of our grandfather, keep living. The more you keep living, the more people are dying. I don't know if people realize that or not,
Yeah.
or they may be there may be something going on with them where they may be here physically, but mentally they are checked out. You need to open yourself up to the possibility and the realization that there are other women that can support you. We,
Yeah.
like you said earlier, Lauren, and you said this as well, Sheena, what is it to like and share? And like I said, I may not be able to use a certain product, may not be good for me, but if I know that Camille used pads and I'm a tampon lady, well, Sheena, you selling natural pads, let me buy them for Camille. May not be good for me, but she can still use them. There are
Yeah.
many, many ways in which we can still support one another, because we got to be willing to open ourselves up, because the very person that you could be doing this to, because you only deal with your little circle, is the
Yeah.
very one that can help you get over that hump in your mind, or whatever it is that your next place that your business needs to go to. Because I'm certain you all still have goals. Y'all have not arrived. Y'all have not arrived where you
No.
want to be in your business. You're doing well, but you know that there's more to what you need to do. And you're
Absolutely.
going to need people
To do it.
Yep.
to do it.
Yeah.
So relationships are very, very important. I don't want none of us to ever forget that. You know, we have to be mindful of how we treat ourselves,
Hmm.
treat other people, because it's going to always start with you. Always start with you. Go
And
on.
what I want to say, if the people who are watching, if they are considering starting, their own business and venturing out,
Mm-hmm.
there is a lot of healing that has to take place internally before you step out and try to start a business. Because if rejection is a trigger for you, if
Yeah.
being alone is a trigger for you, if not being motivated and easily, falling back and just doing nothing is
Mhm.
something for you, if your cutoff game too strong, you won't have, people around you. It's
Mhm.
a lot of things that you have to do internally before
Yeah.
you step out, because if not, you will only be led by your hurt, and you
Yeah.
Mhm.
cannot do business. I don't know if you've ever interacted with somebody who leads that way and they have a business and they're providing a service, but they're ran by emotion. It's not going to work.
Mm. Mhm. Yeah.
That's good, Lauren, that you mentioned that, because a lot of people don't realize that that's essential to your business. You
Mhm.
have to have you together, because for me, I can honestly admit I used to be a little firecracker. That side of me had to go, because when you're dealing with people who want to text you at 4 o'clock in the morning and email and call your phone, you can't be popping off. That's when you have to use the professional voice, and you have to realize this person mentally don't have it all together.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
sometimes you have to smile. Maybe you want to use the cuss words, as Camille say.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. As we are closing in on our time, I really want to thank those of you that are watching, because and I definitely thank you ladies for sharing out, and just being willing to talk about some of the the steps that you've taken to get to where you are. And I love that all three of you are passionate about what you're doing. I have used all of your services. I'm blessed to have Camille as my sister, and I can wholeheartedly say that ministry has been in her since she was born. All of us. You are born with whatever it is that you're supposed to do. I think we don't understand it is there, and I am preaching to myself at this point. It is there. We have to get over us. I have always said this. My biggest opponent, it has always been Latoya. It has never been anyone else. It's always been me. And so if I can continue to fight to get over myself, then I'm better able to show up again for Latoya and for everyone else. Okay, and sometimes you will be pushed out of your comfort zone. For those of you that are watching, there's I never ever desired to do the show. Nothing like this. I don't even like to be in the camera. Never wanted to do blogs, but it was Camille Monk. I was sitting on her couch 2017, and I had a not so favorable experience. And she said, Toya, you should start blogging. We're talking about a blog. And I just had a situation going on where I'm like, I'm practically ready to murder somebody. And you want to talk about a blog, but it is something about pain that will drive you to help someone else because you don't want them to experience that. And there are a lot of things that I've experienced. And I want to thank Ty for, and I'm going back to what us being pushed out of our comfort zone. Ty seeing something in me to have these type of platforms where women can come on, talk, share out, and glean. And I believe in Jesus' name, we are going to be able to get paid. Me with this one day, it's going to come. But again, right now, I'm on. This is what I'm walking in the lane that I'm supposed to walk in. And I always say this on the show: despise not small beginnings. You got to be willing to get dirty. You got to be willing to grind. You got to be willing to do it when everyone is not there, because everybody ain't gonna always be there. One of my favorite songs is by PJ Morton, Go Alone. Sometimes you're gonna have to go at life alone in a sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you got to be able to shut the noise out so you can hear clearly on what you're supposed to be doing. So before we leave off, I want you three ladies, as I always do, I love for people to talk about what they're grateful for, but I also want you all to leave an encouragement to someone that is watching that wants to get started in business. And I'll do how we did it before. Sheena, I'm gonna let you start. Go to Lauren, and Camille, you can finish it out.
Okay. I would say be true to who you are. Know that it's okay to step outside of your comfort zone. That
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable stage is what helps you to grow the most. And know that it's okay if someone else is doing what you're doing. Go back to number one, be true to who you are.
Mm,
Know his voice, because his voice will be the guidance along your path to get you to your destination.
mhm. And what are you grateful for?
I am grateful for life.
Okay.
Yes, life.
I am grateful for coming from a family that taught me how to interact with women on a healthy level.
Mhm.
And I understand that is not common, but it has greatly impacted me just in general, but especially for business. So I'm very grateful from uh, where I come from and
Mhm.
how I was raised and the things that were instilled in me. Because I do not take it lightly, because I understand it could have been a totally different ball game.
Mhm.
Um, an encouragement that I will give to someone is do it afraid, do it
Mhm.
scared. Don't think about outside circumstances. And when I say that, it's usually things that we're bringing on ourselves.
Okay.
Think about if you're going to quit a job and then start a business with no kind of plan. Think about that. What I'm talking about is don't think about, oh, well, what if they don't come? Or what if they don't like it? Or what if it doesn't work? Do it afraid,
Yeah.
do it scared,
Mhm.
and keep going.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I think that what I want to encourage women and men, whoever's watching this, I believe that whatever God has called you to do, He downloaded inside of you at conception. He downloaded whatever it is into you already. It is already there. But I caution people about your motive. Don't just do it because somebody else is doing it. Do it
Yes.
because he has called you to do it. And
Yeah.
that is the only way that you will be able to sustain. Because if you are doing something just because it's a wave of everybody else doing it, you will soon burn out and tap out. And that's just a fact. I'm grateful for my sister circle. I really, really am. And I am grateful to be able to have the capacity to hear from God clearly and being able to understand when He's speaking to me and when He's pushing me and when I'm pushing myself and knowing the difference. Because for me, that is a big difference. Sometimes I may want to do something and God, I can hear Him clearly. It's not time. Pump your
Okay.
brakes. And
Mhm.
sometimes when I want to step back, he's pushing the gas. So I'm grateful for my sister circle and being able to hear clearly from God.
All right. This has been such a wonderful conversation. I'm assuming, Curtis, that question is for me since I already asked them, what are they grateful for? He asked, what are you grateful for? I am grateful that at every moment in my life, God knows who to send my way. He always does. And again, this is why I was encouraging those that are watching to open yourself up. You never know where a message is going to come from. And I told Kanita earlier, as funny as this sounds, I said, I don't care if a bird got to come by and chirp my message or if a squirrel runs by and has to say something to me. However, I need to get the message pointed to me. I am
Yeah.
appreciative of that, and God has always done that. And the message can be anywhere. So I'm grateful that even when I have those moments of doubt, and we have to understand that they come, we're human. There wouldn't be scriptures for fear and doubt and loneliness if we weren't going to have those moments. But although I have those moments, even when I want to, I'm telling you, He would always send somebody my way to either be a text or this random phone call. And I'm telling you all, get out of your way because that could be the very conversation that you need to take you to the next step. Stop putting your phone on silent and do not disturb so much. You can't have one without the other. If you want to receive, we got to be open and ready to receive, and that's going to cause us to come out of our comfort zone. So, Lauren, Camille, Sheena, thank you all so much for sharing out tonight. I know that our audience was helped. Audience, thank you all so much for being supportive. Ty, Nicole, thank you for living out your vision. We are on this platform tonight because Tyron and Nicole are steady with RETV, Relationship Entertainment Television. And I'm not the only show. They have other content. There's other content on there. So for those of you that are watching, I'll be back next Thursday, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. I need you all to always please be safe and be great. Have a great night. You guys could tell them bye.
Bye.
Bye, you
Bye.
guys.